Hello everyone, my name is Tim Grant. So in my previous video about drawing, I started off by doing cartoons. So I drew a few cartoons, and I drew a lot of cartoons, and I started to realize something, that they weren't exactly turning out the way that I was hoping that they would. They didn't look exactly right. And I was thinking, well, okay, this could be for multiple reasons. The first reason might be just because I need to keep practicing. So if I keep drawing them, and in time with practice, I'm going to get better and better at what I'm drawing. That's one option that I could go. And the second option that I could progress towards is, okay, well, perhaps I started off too far. Perhaps I need to go back and go even more basic. So my idea was originally that, okay, well, cartoons, they're extremely simple. They're almost the most simple drawings that you can do is a cartoon. So if I draw cartoons, simple cartoons, then that's a good starting place, and then I can build from there. I can do simple cartoons and then add more techniques to it. Maybe do different types of shading, different texturing, and I can learn all these things and just add it to it and then build from the base of cartoons. But if my cartoons aren't turning out the way I am wanting, I can either go the one route of continuing to draw the cartoons and get them better with time, or I can go back a little bit and work even more basic. So that's what I decided to do. I went back and I started from the very, very, very basic, the most basic thing that I could think of, which are shapes. So I drew a ton of shapes. I drew cubes and squares and triangles and cones and ovals and spheres and a whole bunch of different shapes. So then what I did was I started to take those shapes and manipulate them and try to make them into different objects, very simple objects that you find in the world. So that's what I did in my last video. So then in this video, what's new is, number one, I decided to get a actual notebook, so that way I can have all of my drawings in one place and I can easily see in chronological order from beginning to end, and I can see my improvement. I can see different things that I tried and when I tried them and how they affected my abilities. So I first started out and I continued to do shapes. So there's that. You can see right here I was doing shading and with different contours. So here's shading, that. On the back side, you have different perspectives right here on the height. So is it up here or down here? Then, stop right there, wine bottles. Then after that, I started that I would go and see if I could do some drawings. So these are some drawings that I did. They, in my opinion, they look a lot better than what I was doing. So as you can see with this up here, I was using the techniques that I learned. Here's just a simple circle. Then I would just do simple shapes, and then I would just make it more and more precise and even out the edges and stuff like that. I used some shading. Then I drew my gun, and as you can see right here, this used to be just a line, but then I corrected it and gave it more curve, so where it fit the actual shape of the actual gun instead of just a straight line. I originally started with a rectangle, but then I added a curve to one of the sides, and then I went like that, so it got to a more lifelike image. So I can definitely see the benefit to what I was doing with the shapes. Then after that, contour lines. So here's an apple. starting from right here, you just do contour lines to try to figure out the shape. I really like doing this type of practice because it forces you to really feel the shape of that specific object. So whenever I'm drawing using contour lines, I have to really think about the actual shape of that object and get a really good image in my mind so that I can portray it onto the paper. So this is a really good way of practicing, so I like to do that. And then I did more random shapes stuff. More shapes right there, like eyes and figure and stuff. Let's see. More stuff. Tried to draw a girl. It looks alright, I think. Then different girl. Swords and an apple. Little bear, tree. These two things I was just in my car and I decided to draw. I saw a tree. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna draw it. Then this is a texture right here. It's a little like gridded texture. Again, more contour lines. Apple, here's a hand right there. Teapot. And what else? A lollipop. And then like a circle. Then a seashell, lips, a light bulb, but I did this one all contoured this way. Then like a mask, a vase, multiple vases. Then I was playing with like the depth of the contour line and see how that changed. Then you have a nose right there. Oh, this terrible. I tried to draw my girlfriend, but it didn't turn out well. The lips are way too small. I need to keep practicing. I didn't show her this one. I didn't show her this. But the mushroom I think is pretty good. I like that mushroom. It's a good mushroom. And so yeah, that's the extent of what I've done so far. So I think I definitely have improved in my drawing. And so the most beneficial thing that I did was start from the absolute basics of the shapes, and I'm really glad that I did that because I wasn't trying to start from a place where I wasn't comfortable. So if I would have continued with drawing the cartoons, I would have never actually learned the basics, and it wouldn't have. I need a very strong base so that I can then build the next step and build the next step. So I'm glad that I got a really good solid base. I might actually continue a little bit more and do more shapes, learn more and more shapes, and just keep drilling that, getting it really, really proficient, that I can do that, then continuing the contour lines, and then after that I might actually start getting into shading and texturing. Perhaps that would be good. I don't know exactly where to go from here, but I'm going to I'll try continuing doing the contour lines and the basic shapes, and then do more shading, or learn shading and texturing, because I haven't learned any of that so far. And then perhaps I can see how that's benefited me and then find out where I can go from there. Perhaps I'll do that in congruence with cartoons. So I think that these two aspects, the shading and texture, this will give me skills to improve on my lifelike, realistic drawing. And then on my cartoon side, this would help me just to recognize lines. Maybe I can learn a little bit of faces, the cartoon faces, and then that will help me distinguish emotion and just give a better feel for faces and bodies and stuff like that. So maybe I could work on more of a, not a lifelike face, not a lifelike human, but maybe a cartoon human or something like this. So that's my plans for the future. If you guys would like to see this progress, please subscribe. That would be amazing. And I'm going to keep on making more of these videos and keep improving my drawing skills and keep going and see how far I can get, how good I can become in drawing. So I feel like I got a pretty good base. Now it's just time for me to start building upon that and gaining new skills in the subfield, or in the field of drawing. So I have the base. Now I just need to start learning a little bit more, not a little bit, a lot more techniques, so that I'm excited to start doing the shading and the textures, because that's just some techniques that I will be able to add and start making my drawings better and better and better. And then I'm going to obviously do the cartoons and then put all that together, and then I'll be better, and then I'll find more methods and more ways to, or more skills in this, what would it be called, subset or sub-skill of drawing? I don't know, but you guys get what I mean. Thank you guys for watching, and you can also find me on Facebook and a whole bunch of other websites. My name is Tim Grant. And yeah, so thank you for subscribing, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.